The HOA thought they had me cornered. They slapped me with a fine $250,000 for so-called violations on what they claimed was their land. At first, I was shocked. My mailbox placement, my fence, even my shed, they marked everything as a violation. Their smug president told me if I didn't pay up, they'd start foreclosure proceedings. But here's the catch. They didn't do their homework. You see, the land I live on isn't just a random property. It's the original tract of land that the HOA's entire subdivision was built on. Decades ago, when the neighborhood was developed, a deal was made where my grandfather sold them rights to build, but he never signed away ownership of the land underneath. Which meant, when I inherited it, I didn't just own my cabin. I owned every single parcel of land their houses were standing on. The HOA might have their little rules, but I had the deeds. So when they fined me, I didn't argue. I simply walked into the county recorder's office with my paperwork. I showed them my grandfather's contracts and the chain of ownership. The clerk nearly choked when she realized what it meant. Legally, every homeowner in that subdivision was leasing land from me without even knowing it. Their HOA wasn't in charge. I was. The next HOA meeting, they tried to humiliate me. They read off every violation in front of the neighbors, acting like they were about to make an example of me. That's when I dropped the bomb. I pulled out the documents, held them up, and told them, "You've been trespassing on my land. Every home here sits on property I own. And as of today, your HOA fines mean nothing. In fact, you now owe me rent." The room went dead silent. The president tried to laugh it off, but when I filed the legal paperwork the following week, the homeowners started panicking. They called emergency meetings, begged for explanations, and tried to threaten me. But the law was clear. The HOA's $250,000 fine disappeared instantly. Instead, I had the legal right to charge each homeowner monthly lease payments. Suddenly, they weren't worried about my shed or my fence. They were worried about losing their homes. In the end, they had no choice but to dissolve the HOA. Without ownership of the land, they had zero authority. The same neighbors who used to glare at me now came knocking on my door, pleading for deals. I ended up creating fair leases for most of them, cheaper than their HOA dues ever were. And as for the HOA board, they were forced to resign in disgrace. So the next time someone tries to bully you with fake rules or unfair fines, remember this. Paperwork beats power trips every single time. They thought they could take my land with a fine. Instead, I reminded them it was never theirs to begin with.